How's it going, guys? This is Ketchup here once again, and a hotfix has been applied to Mortal Kombat X recently. The hotfix mainly addressed a couple of things that Cyborgs can do universally, and a couple of variation-specific changes. So this video is basically about some Sektor changes, but more importantly, a new setup which I've discovered earlier on today while looking for up missile setups. First things first, basically the video I made about the armor breaking doesn't work anymore for a couple of changes. First of all, there's less hit advantage on these, but that's not really the reason it was changed. This didn't affect the corner pressure, but basically the up missiles have significantly less hit stun on them now, which means that it's much easier for the opponent to punish you. You can't do an up missile and see it hit and then react with it now, because they will block and punish you for it. So the up missiles serve a different purpose. They serve more of a zoning purpose, just to have a full screen presence, but also on setups. The MK9 style, knock them down and put an up missile on their head. However, this was also hurt with the change to Cyborgs 1112. You now take significantly longer to recover. As you can see, I tried to drop missile there, but it takes him a long time to even be able to start doing his up missile. So the setup I did in the recent video about armor breaking, that doesn't work anymore. It's very, very difficult to even safely get a up missile on the screen for no meter without getting punished now. However, what's happened is a lot of the Sektor players, including myself, are looking for other ways to try and implement this up missile in our pressure. And I believe I found something pretty special. This basically involves his back 1-2-4 string when you meter burn. This is intended to be a combo tool, as you can see. You can get really nice damage for it, whatever you want to do really. And that's decent damage for a launching overhead. It's unsafe on block, obviously, but if you pay attention to when you don't combo into anything, look how long he's on the floor before he can move and wake up. That's a significant amount of time. He's also set to roll, I should mention. He's set to roll mode. This is a true hard knockdown. The opponent cannot tech roll. The only thing they can do is delay wake up. So this is a true hard knockdown, and as you can see, they're on the ground long enough, which guarantees Sektor to do up missiles for free whenever he wants. Now, I've created a setup off this, and for the cost of a bar, using the back 1-2-4, you can armor break any wake up in the entire game, and also enforce a 50-50 at the same time. If I can get this set up, it may take a couple of tries, because it's definitely a timing thing. It's not particularly difficult, it's just very different to any other setups we're going to be used to, because they're on the floor for so long. The setup goes like this: land back 1-2-4, wait, forward dash, up missile, into your normal. And as you can see, that's the low option. I completely armor broke him. He did meter burn spin, a notoriously difficult move to armor break. And I armor broke it clean. So that involves the low. I'm now going to show you the overhead option. Once again, we get the armor break. So, as you can see, I enforced both my low and I enforced my overhead. Let's try and go for the 1-1-1 like we used to before. And we can hit confirm that into teleport. So that armor breaks off anything. So you're spending a bar. Now, the reason this isn't actually a big deal that you're spending a bar is because you can combo into it. For example, you can confirm off your 4-2-1-2-2 backdash, 2-1, go for this, take 28%, go for the reset, armor break again. Spend a second bar. As you can see, the cost of 2 bars, I've done a nice chunk of damage off a hard knockdown, of which I armor broke using a 50-50 option. So basically, this can work off multiple things. You can get good damage off an NJP too. Land a neutral jump punch, you can lead into the setup. Once again, end in this. Wait, forward dash, missile, go for your low, armor break, and then get another hit, and then you can basically loop the damage however you want. Now, the reason this is really effective, you'll notice that I'm armor breaking into my teleport rather than going into any of my other options. This is because it's obviously, if I'm committing into teleport, this is an unsafe 50-50. However, this isn't as unsafe as you may think immediately. The reason I'm going into my teleport is because the only way to not have to hold a guaranteed 50-50 is to delay your wake up. If I do short get up mode, look at what happens if I commit to teleport. Nothing happens. I whiff a back 3 and I'm completely safe, because nothing connected, so there was no reason that my teleport would come out. I'm going to go for the overhead option now. Once again, he delayed his wake up and I committed to teleport. This also works the same way, exactly the same, if he opts to go for a max delayed wake up. Obviously, if I read the delayed wake up, I can either just delay it and then go for an overhead option or a low option, or I can go for a grab, or I can go for, some kind of pressure tool. Let me quickly put my controller back in because it's turned off. But the point is, The only time I'm putting myself at risk when I knock the opponent down is if I make them hold a 50-50 and they guess it correctly, because they can't wake up this setup. So basically, I'm putting myself in a situation where I'm only doing single normal into teleport, because if it doesn't connect, it whiffs and I'm completely safe. If it's blocked, as in they've blocked the 50-50, yes, they can block it and punish me if their timing is correct. However, if they guess wrong, I get the full combo. If they wake up, I armor break. So basically, this setup means that the old setup was you spend a bar in the homing missile to get armor breaking. Now, we're just switching the armor. We're switching it to this instead, going for the setup, bam, and he delayed wake up. So yes, it's not going to be something that you're going to win the game off entirely for free. It's not guaranteed as such because you can delay wake up. But if he doesn't delay wake up and I land some kind of punish, as you can see, I can end the combo, cash out at around 30%-ish. Let me try that one more time. 2-1. We can cash it out at around 28%. Go for the setup, into the armor breaking, and then loop it back in because he went for what is normally a rather guaranteed situation. Obviously, you can also loop this back into itself. So what's going on here is, as I explained it, this setup, because there is a hard knockdown and a super long amount of recovery time after they get hit by this, gives you time to do a setup which guarantees up missiles and armor breaks off anything. Can be hit confirmed, and the only way out of it is delayed wake up, of which this will whiff and this will whiff, because there is no grounds for my teleport to connect. So I think this is actually a really nice setup that Sektor has. It's definitely given us a reason to go into training and look for other setups and applications because of the nerf that the 1112 received. And this does work in the corner as well. This does work anywhere on screen. So we're just shifting the meter usage from, instead of spending a bar to armor break with homing missile, we're spending the bar to armor break using the meter burn back 124, and we're simply just going to use meterless regular up missiles to armor break instead. So hopefully this is a really important video. I think this is a good setup that can be used, and it's just, you know, an addition to Sektor's arsenal basically. Hopefully this helps you all out, and we can develop this setup further and try and find more stuff, but that is that. Thank you very much for watching, guys. See you later. Take care.